11 o'clock.
All right, everybody ready? We got the video on, or they're on audio?
Yeah, we're ready to go, Mayor.
You're gabbing.
All right. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Cargan?
Here.
Trustee Levin?
Here.
Trustee Marvella?
Here.
Trustee McCarthy?
Here.
Trustee White?
Here.
Trustee Whitmore? Here. Mayor Bruno?
Here. Virtually. All right, action item number 1 on the agenda. I need a motion to waive the bidding process and approve the contract for the purchase of an ambulance pursuant to the attached quote from American Response Vehicles at a price not to exceed $314,559, with delivery expected in fiscal year 2024-2025, and with the administrator to be directed to monitor delivery and allocate necessary funds in the budget year of delivery to cover the cost of the same.
So moved. Second.
I need a motion?
You have a motion, Mayor, and it's been seconded.
Okay, I need a second. I didn't hear the motion, sorry.
It has
We got
been,
both.
it has been seconded.
We have both, okay. Discussion?
Anything new from staff since the meeting last week?
I don't know if this is the appropriate time for the current ambulance mechanical issues with the shop.
That would be item number 2 on the agenda.
All right. Other than that, on my end, it's the same.
Just one of the things that's before you, as we take a look at this expenditure, and
Any other discussion on that?
Can't hear you, hold on a second. Dave's talking.
so,
Use your big boy voice.
so what you have in front of you is just the framework of the vehicle replacement plan that we're going to be discussing, and this is going to be the first component of our vehicle replacement plan moving forward. This is going to be discussed at the next village board meeting at length, but this ambulance will be considered the first component of this plan. So,
I mean, that'll be the plan going forward, is that we're looking at the fleet when it comes to replacements and having a schedule and not one-offs.
yes, sir.
Might I add to that, that's what we're wanting to do, is instead of, if you look at the interest rates on all the other vehicles that we have on the loans, if you look at the second to the last page, you see all the interest rates that we've had, and so instead of going through that process, we're going to take the money that we have is about, what, 1.4 million? Is it, Nick? Around that number. Take the most critical vehicles that we need to replace and put that all together with the ambulance and get one interest rate, one financing number. And so now we need to get to the people that can advise us on how to finance this and what is the best way to go about this whole process. And that will take a little bit of time, but I think with Nick and David and all of us are looking to this, we can spearhead this and get this taken care of in a appropriate manner. But this is the route we want to take. And then also, another thing that we need to do is we need to get a vehicle replacement schedule and some kind of a maintenance type of item so we understand what's going on with all the vehicles. It's something that I'm used to, that I did in many of the hospitals and other accounts that I was in. And what this helps is that if we see the risk of breakdown, the fuel efficiency, the effective breakdown time, so on and so forth, this way the department head can give us an understanding of what vehicles in the future need to be replaced if there's a constant maintenance issue, that we're always putting money into the thing instead of just buying a new one and doing the proper preventive maintenance. That's the other key issue, proper preventive maintenance. We need to have that with all the vehicles so we understand what's going on. Because if they're not taken care of properly according to manufacturer specifications, then we do have a lot of breakdowns.
Well, and the unfortunate part is half of our vehicles are over 10 years old, or let's just say 9 years old, and most of them have not had proper maintenance on them, and now you're to a point where it's too late. I mean, that ambulance, I don't care what you do now as far as maintenance, it's too late.
No, you're absolutely right, and this is why I think that when we take the most critical vehicles like the ambulance and the other ones that we see, to start this ball rolling. 6 months ago, we didn't understand where our financing was in our capital budget was, you know, as far as understanding what we could spend and what we can't. We're a lot closer to that today than we were 6 months ago. Now we understand what we can, and we have about 1.4 million that we can start this program rolling and go from this point forward and keep it going until we get everything taken care of. So this is critical.
What's the numbers on the right? So it says youth
So
replacement
the
cost.
program we're looking to set up for the maintenance, we have time frame on that's gonna be established, or?
This is, the numbers that you see before you is basically a ballpark figure, the framework that we're still working on. What you
Don't
have in
work
front
on
of-
that 1.9 on that one, because if you do that, my head will probably come off and
Okay.
break that frickin' sheet.
Very good. Anybody else have anything?
That shouldn't even be on there.
Hold on,
Hold
Mayor.
on, Mayor.
That's what you
This is a side conversation going on here.
This is
Okay,
just the
as hard as you
framework.
for me to
shouldn't
hear
even be
on
on
these
there.
things.
It's a mute point.
You'll decide.
We do not need one. And a lot of the residents feel the same way I do.
The point is being made, Mayor, that the ladder truck replacement being listed on here, you know, is a decision yet to be made by really a future board on what that purchase or not to purchase will look like. And I think Rocky reiterated last week that, you know, when it comes to engines, you know, the needs may be different than, and not as, obviously not as critical, but looking at, the ambulance runs a lot more than the engine does, and our fire needs may be different.
Right. I'm hoping that I've intercepted the two fire apparatus in time to save it, to not be in the position we're in now with the ambulance. On this, I don't know if you guys.
Hold on a second, I think Nick wants to say something.
All I wanted to mention is that first sheet, you'll have one of these for every vehicle. And a lot of them we knew, but we'll just go to the ones that are critical. All these are estimates that are in the summary. And the critical part, I believe, from my perspective, is that last sheet. You're gonna have to get your financial advisor involved in this, because you have other needs. Okay, you have facilities, you don't have any money through your capital plan. That 1.4 million is gonna be stretched a long way, and you gotta decide how that's gonna work. So, you gotta come up with some sort of program, vehicles will be placed on a certain schedule, you evaluate them every year. And, you don't have computers, technology, you have facilities to go through, and in your capital plan, you don't have the tax and storms and roads and that thing. So, that $1.4 million you have available now, and 4.5 by the end of this term, has to be stretched to run all those programs. This is one. Vehicles is one, and you've got to address it. It hasn't been, addressed in a planning sort of fashion.
Any other discussion?
I don't think so.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Do we have a roll call then?
Yeah.
Target,
Aye.
Levin.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye.
Motion passed.
Second item, update on the status of the ambulance number 1742.
Oh, I guess I can speak to that. 1742 is at Pfeiffer's up the road. Historically, that's where the vehicles have been taken for maintenance, and Pfeiffer's already replaced an engine in it a few years, whenever it was 2016. They've gone over it, and they're estimating about $10,000 in repairs. Multiple gaskets leaking, and that includes the labor. it's being old, it's past its life expectancy on the second motor. I'm reading an email from Assistant Chief Stone who handles this. They're going to get a firm number after the holidays, but that's where it sits right now.
Any, time frame on when this might get done?
He's going to give us firmer, can you hear me, Mayor?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
He's gonna give firmer numbers after the holiday. That was a quick once-over, as I'm being described. So we're at about $10,000 to repair this ambulance.
Okay.
And we need to get by 102 weeks with something, so.
What are the other options?
I have a call-in with Metro, they could lease an ambulance to us at a good rate, but I'm waiting for that price to come back. Everybody's on holiday mode right now.
I'm sure you're gonna spend a lot more than 10,000 leasing.
I think we are too.
10,000 is probably not gonna get you very long before you gotta put other repairs into it.
Right. I don't, besides that option, which I agree, it'll probably cost a lot more over 2 years than 10,000, but what's to say once we put 10 grand in it, what else is gonna go wrong? But we have to have a backup ambulance. So, I think we're kinda,
What if you
I don't,
Having something that we don't have to have signed to call for, veto aid. I think we need it to back up, but I just don't know how fast they're gonna be able to fix that once they determine everything that's wrong with it, with all the parts that we need to purchase for
Should
it.
be less than, I mean, I would assume it's less than a week. 2 weeks apart.
I'm not, because if they have a part that
Okay.
isn't ready
Right,
or
yeah.
on back order.
It's everywhere.
So, I know I could probably borrow an ambulance as a second from a department I know pretty well for a little while. Long-term, probably not, but
Can we,
All right.
can we like maybe on next week, Monday or Tuesday, find out from Pfeiffer the approximate schedule time of when this can be repaired and come back into service?
yeah,
If we
I'm
get
hoping so.
some kind of a timeframe.
I'm leaving the country in about 48 hours, but I could have John follow up or Keenan with you guys to get a better idea of when we'll be done. You know, I just,
Can we look at options of buying, down the road, buying a used engine?
probably.
I know that there's other local municipalities selling off some of their used engines that are 5 years newer than our newer engines.
Yeah.
And that's other options we can look at if we're gonna put 10,000 into something.
Engines, I'm talking about the ambulance, right? I think where we're at though, and you guys, Alana, you probably know better than me, but if we need this vehicle, we're probably gonna end up paying to fix it, right? And
I mean,
the vehicle's probably worth 8,000, but what are we gonna do? So, I'm sorry, I don't have a firm, good answer on that, but if we put our heads together and choose that path, I'm for it. You know what I mean? I could say it, and then we'll come back here and blow a head gasket the next day it's here, who knows, but.
Is Pfeiffer part of All Fleet?
yeah,
I think it's a relative, right?
yeah, it's a father-son.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good with or mechanics, because I know they take care of large fleets of other companies.
The concern though is what we can't predict, not what they can fix now, it's
Right.
what's gonna happen a few months from now, and that's what the problem is, right? Is that, you know, because right now it's cheaper 10,000 than the lease until the new vehicle comes, but that's not
You could
including
add
what might happen.
4 more rounds of
Yeah.
this.
No.
I'd like to see like what are, like the different cost possibilities for a year of leasing,
Yeah.
of the other options, and of what we think, you know, what issues could come up again. It could cost us, because, I mean, I'm willing to spend a little more to be safe and not have the headaches of having to keep taking into repair, but we need to have in front of us what those numbers might look like.
Right, and with the holidays here,
They'll have electrical nightmare on that thing too, right?
it is, they're using a shop light in it.
Oh.
Um,
So that's gonna be costly as well.
Wiring is gonna start at
Yeah,
about 4
we
hours.
just, so let's keep in mind though, we have a good frontline ambulance. This is the reserve. We just gotta nurse it along 2 more years.
So the
I'm
numbers.
hoping that could be established and okay.
The numbers from your presentation last week kind of bore out that you have both ambulances on the road about once every other week,
It's probably once a week.
or once a
Yeah.
week, right? And a portion of that is running calls to mutual aid.
Yeah.
So if we had to say, we're only running one ambulance, and for a period of time, we have to say no to mutual aid,
Mhm.
if we're not available, I mean, that's the alternative, right?
That's
Or-
correct.
Or
We do
finding
that
some,
too.
or finding some creative way of saying, we're gonna run an SUV with paramedics in it to get there and stabilize until, mutual.
David, do we have to motion to approve that fix?
No, this was just an update.
All right.
We don't have a number
This is
yet.
a discussion, we're not.
There's
I know
nothing
at that
to-
money level.
And there's nothing to vote on yet, but
Oh, okay.
we don't know what, we don't have enough details.
Okay.
Is there another leasing firm that we can go other than Metro?
That's the only one I know of. That's the only one I know of people using for that.
Okay.
The only other thing you can do is try selling it and using that money for the lease. I mean, there's options. You
Mhm.
just have to weigh out the other.
All right, everybody done discussion on that 1742?
I got one more
I like
question
them like this.
for the board.
Hold on,
All right,
Okay.
can I give them okay to start fixing it until approval, or do we gotta wait until the next meeting?
not unless you're under the spending limits, and $10,000 isn't under the spending limits.
All right, so the next meeting,
Yeah.
we'll have a firm number and then proceed.
You know, there's a state purchasing act we have to follow, whether
Alright.
you like it or not.
Since you're gonna be gone, Chief, have John Lewis or Keenan provide us with that information.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 3. Need a motion to approve, approval of a temporary bookkeeper position.
So moved?
Second.
All right, discussion. I'll turn it over to David, and he'll explain this.
This is something that we've been trying to get done, which is the bank reconciliations for all the accounts for the last 2 years. We've explored different options. One of the options was with an accounting temporary service, which we thought the cost was very high. We brought that to the board a few months ago. It was close to $80 an hour. We explored other options, and the option that we believe is the best is contracting out with a private contractor for a time period to get the bank reconciliations all up to date for the cost of anywhere in between $40 to $50 an hour, which is almost half of what we were going to be paying for the temp agency. Once everything is caught up, the new treasurer that was newly appointed would be taking over the bank recs once we're all caught up.
So my concern is, how long does it take and who's gonna babysit them and make sure they're doing their job diligently? That, to me, is important. You don't just give somebody the ball and say, oh, here you go at it, man, let's see what you got, even though it's half price. They gotta be good at what they do, and who's gonna be watching, who's gonna be oversight.
Totally understand. There is no time limit that we have, but I did end up capping it
with the motion, and the cap would be not to exceed $9,000.
As far as who would be watching them, you have a treasurer.
Thank you,
now.
David.
Oh,
Anybody else?
Yep.
I think it's all done. I talked.
Hold on, Mayor, just don't give us one quick sec.
Nick's voice isn't being picked up by
Okay.
the speakers or so.
You have a treasurer now who's a CPA. He'll be monitoring them. I have 45 years' experience. I'll be monitoring them. So will John Blackburn. He agreed to do this as well. So we're going to keep tabs on this person to make sure that things move along quickly. And on the two people we're looking at, they both have, and they probably have 50 years' experience each one of those folks that are doing it. So we'll keep tabs on them to make sure it's done efficiently. First one's going to be difficult. First one.
So that's 180 hours at the top dollar.
Okay.
It's not a lot of time, to me. I mean, that's,
Okay, done.
okay.
I'm done.
Mayor,
Is that it then?
Mayor, we're done.
Oh, okay, sorry. I heard a silence, but I wasn't sure that meant everyone was done talking.
I like
All right, very good. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Dave. I need a roll call, please.
Target,
Aye.
Levin.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you all for coming out on a cold night. Not here, but there. But a cold night, I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call, please.
Target,
Aye.
Levin.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
All right.
Stay safe,
Go to
Mayor.
dinner.